As a matter of best practice, you should remember to keep your protection periods consistent. Within the OREC Buyer Broker Agreement, there are two different protection periods. The first is located in paragraph 6, and it says that even if a buyer terminates the agreement with their broker, the buyer is still required to compensate the broker for purchase agreements signed within a period of time after the termination, so long as that property purchased was presented to the buyer through the broker's services. This first protection provision applies only to terminations or cancellations of the Buyer Broker Agreement. The second protection provision is located in the final section of paragraph 7. This language reiterates the protections of paragraph 6 for terminations, but it also broadens the scope of protection. In addition to terminations, the language in paragraph 7 also applies to a period of time after the expiration or timing out of the Buyer Broker Agreement. As mentioned earlier, both of these protection provisions apply to a certain period of time, and by default, both of those periods are 60 days if the blanks in those provisions are left empty. Since the protection language in both paragraphs 6 and 7 speak to terminations, it's important to keep these periods consistent. Some people may want to shorten or lengthen this protection period, which is perfectly fine to do. But if you're going to make changes like that, you really need to make sure that you change the protection periods in both paragraphs. Failing to make that change in both places could lead to an ambiguous contract, which might expose you to more risk if the contract is terminated. For example, assume you want the protection period to last for 90 days, but you make this change in paragraph 6 only. If you forget to also make that change in paragraph 7, well, now you might have an ambiguous contract. In that case, paragraph 6 says the protection period after a termination is 90 days, while paragraph 7 indicates the protection period after terminations is only 60 days. If a purchase contract is then signed after the termination, it may not be clear whether the broker is entitled to compensation depending on when the purchase contract was signed. As long as you make sure that the protection periods in paragraphs 6 and 7 are consistent, then you can avoid that kind of ambiguity.